badge holder. Great. Oh yeah. Getting hard, getting hard. Actually, I need a more hardener nose. It's been a while. I expected this stuff to take a while. I really did. But I didn't expect this to take quite as long as it is. So I'm going to take these and move these for now.
No, there's nothing here, babe, that I could see.
For the 30th?
Well, there's 30th, but I don't have it. They're not showing it.
The fire department isn't showing anything?
No, so I'm looking at like starting at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, from 4. Yeah, if you started at 4, and I'm thinking of probably around 5:36 is when it really. If not, we got to put it in as a drill. We are, which means there isn't going to be a number on it. Or we got to make up a number. So let's put it in if we can figure this out. Because usually drills haven't got any numbers. But, or training. What do they got it at, marked as? Training or drills?
I don't know.
Up there. What do you put on?
Training.
Okay. Yeah, because we're going to training. And we're going to put down for that night. From the hours of 5:30, so it'll be 17:30. And what time do I get home? 7:30? Alright, hold on. 7:30?
I don't even think it was that late.
Alright.
I thought it was 6:30.
Alright, well I'm going to put down 1900. Alright, and that's on the 30th. Now, we're going to call it is. Yeah, fire police training, so it's going to be, if they need a notation of some sort, live traffic.
Wait a minute. Start time. I'm going to put the start.
I already told you, 17.
18:30.
Yeah, now if you wait a minute, please.
WILLOW.
Okay, and there was George, there was Joe, and there was me. So it was a live training drill that they asked Beach Street and Willow, 2 different streets. Alright, 1730 to 1900.
So where were you? So
Doesn't make a difference. You know what? Just put Beach Street. Okay? Put the 3 of us up Beach Street. You talking through that?
no, dear, I wasn't.
Well,
I don't think there's.
even talk through your thinking process. Some gloves. Alright, let's go do a John Deere cam. It's starting to snow. A little bit of white on the ground. That's more of a little bit of a sleet than it is snow. But, you know, you hear all these reports, and like I said, you know, you really can't trust any of them. But, be there for a minute. Okay. This is going to take a minute to start this time. Gotta wait for that little click. Oh, the battery's going dead. Good. Let's see what happens. I just gotta remember to move that, because otherwise, chop chop, and I'll ruin my do. That's like ruining a do. So anyway, been about an hour at least. I'm sorry guys, I'm eating a blueberry muffin. As you can see, that's hard. Now this was Bondo. Works well, but it has a little bit of an odor while you're mixing it. So if you got a little ventilation for a few minutes, it'd be nice. And no matter what it is that you're using, if you're going to be sanding, it's good to put on at least a dust mask. Anything is better than nothing. Having that dust mask, take a rag, wet it, bring it out well, put it around your nose, your mouth, tie it behind you, and that'll help. Now this, I really don't think, oh God, my voice is still screwy. You hear that, there's somebody underneath the table grabbing me. Apparently the Bondo was bad. I don't know. I've never heard of Bondo going bad. And I know I had enough of it mixed in. But none of this is working. So, is it the Bondo? Is it the hardener? I have no idea. I never heard of either one going bad. And both that and that being bad, this is it with more hardener, less hardener. I don't know. However, I know the fresh stuff is here. I can slow down the drying or be ready to work it. Like for instance here, while I'm waiting for it to dry, I can form a little bit of a pond of some sort if I want it to hold a little water. And it'll look more natural because it's, you know, just out of shape, which is good. I can probably do it with this one, but I would have to sit here for a few minutes, and I mean minutes, because it's going to harden fast, and start working it fast. And the more you work it, naturally, the more it wants to dry on you. But as you can see, this is not hardening at all. Now this would have been nice if it was hard by now, because that little pond right there would have been fine. You know, and I wanted to run something or have it come up a little bit. You know, I mean, this would have worked just fine. But it's just not curing fast enough. Let me put that back over here. I'm going to get the hardener that I used on this, and I'm going to finish using it, because either it's going to work or it's not. And if it's not, I'm going to just get rid of it instead of keeping it around the shop getting in my way. Thinking does it work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and just wasting my time at that point. And somewhere I got to try to find a longer USB cable. Now I know, or we know, that the other Bondo, the bigger can, with the hardener, worked. So, first I'm going to use up the rest of this. That's all there is to it. I mean, and I really don't think this is it, because this is darker. It should have worked. So, now what I'm going to do after this, after I make a mess, because this will make a little bit of a mess, I will take a little bit of the Bondo that we used here and the fiber Bondo, and see if it works with the other hardener, the hardener that we know that does work. And that'll tell us if the hardener was bad, and if so, I can still use the Bondo. I just got to pick up a tube of hardener. But for the most part, right now, some of this should get hard. I mean, it actually to a point where I can make a mess out of myself, but I can probably do something with it if it was to harden. For instance, that little puddle, that little pond. Take this and see if I can, I know I shouldn't have mixed it on here, because if I can just make a little bit of reservoir, natural looking type pond. Alright, now let's take this piece, mix up the rest of the hardener in this. Now if this hardener was good, so be it. There was only a little bit, so, but again, from the different measurements that I had in these things, I never had a Bondo be that critical. It just would take sometimes a little bit harder, longer to cure, but never that long. The Bondo probably would have got hard by itself without anything in it. Alright, so we're going to let that sit for a few minutes, because I tell you, it should only take a couple of minutes. I had a 68 Super B. Mine had a 440 4-speed in it, posi rear. It was a pretty kick-ass first shifter. But on the trunk, there, his voice is funny, isn't it? Well, it's telling me. On the trunk of it, it had a little bit of a built-in spoiler light. I mean, it kind of looked like that. It wasn't monstrous. It was only a few inches across. If you really didn't look at it, you wouldn't even notice it. Or for some reason, mine rotted almost all the way across. And a friend of mine had a 64 Plymouth Fury at the time. 383 4-speed. Actually, we both lived in the same house. His mother owned a little 2-family house. He and his mother and his brother and his sister all lived in the house downstairs. She rented out the upstairs. My first wife, my ex-wife, and I rented it out. and Gary, the one I'm talking about, used to work for me. So it was a convenience all the way around. So he had some rust that he wanted to take care of. So we went and bought a gallon of Bondo. That's going to be enough. Neither one of us really did any Bondoing at the time. So I said, well, I got to run upstairs and change my clothes. Yeah, I'm going to run the house and change mine too. So he goes in the house. I go upstairs. He got out before me. He takes the whole tube of hardener and he's squeezing it into the can of Bondo. I'm right coming up on him and I see him doing this. I've never done it before, so I don't know. He gets a tree branch that was about yay long and about that big around. And he's got the gallon between his legs and he's mixing it up. And I'll tell you what, within a minute of him getting it mixed, the stick hardened right in it. The whole gallon hardened right there in the gallon. We never had a chance to use it. And then we both look at one another like, okay. So anyway, that was my first experience with Bondo. Oh, let me mix this up. I forgot about this one. Now I know I had it mixed well, because I talked to you about that when I was doing it. You want to make sure you got a good mix. You don't want to see any pearling in there, you don't want to see any swirls in there, you want to see a solid color. Alright. So that's kind of where we're at. Now, like I said earlier, because I wasn't plugged in, I think it's still going now. I don't know. That's why I need a longer cord so I can charge it while I'm talking on it. Overdose, yeah. Now that happens for two reasons, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's just a bad mistake, because a lot of people that need somebody to look after them, but they don't realize it, nor do they even think about it. But what happens when it comes to their medication, they're not realizing that they've taken it. So they end up taking it twice and sometimes more. And I've seen that happen. And we end up overdosing. Luckily, somebody or them know enough just before they pass out to call 911. And then they realize that they have overdosed because you don't keep track. And I mean, I can see that happening with some people. You start losing track. You know, you lose track of your thought pattern. You know, did I or didn't I? And if there's no method, you know, or way of you taking it, you're not going to know. I mean, even myself, like to think I'm still pretty sharp. Sometimes it takes me a minute to think of something, but for most part, I'm pretty sharp. Uh, and what I do is I have my medicines all laid out, so I know if they're not there, I've taken them. Yeah. And they make those little things now with the days and all that on it, which sometimes could be a pain in the ass filling them, but you know what? It's well worth it. If you haven't got time, or you can't do it, or you lose track of doing it, then have somebody do it with you or for you. But it's better than taking an overdose, that's for sure. And then there's those who just decide if they take more that they're going to get higher. Oh, I'm going to feel better. Oh, I need more. And the next thing you know, they've overdosed. That happens a lot, actually. You get somebody, for instance, let's just say like me, who has a bad back issue. And I know if I start taking medication, my back is going to feel great. So do I have the addictive personality to where I say, well, let me take another. Well, wait a minute, let me take another, because if I'm feeling good now, I'm going to feel a lot better if I take more. And the next thing you know, you take yourself into the grave with this stuff because you overdose. And people do that because they don't understand. And then there's just those that want to get high off it and they just don't care in the way they go. So, but I'd rather live in a little pain that I can deal with, pain that I won't notice if I keep busy because my mind is on other things, than to sit there and drug myself up and die. I just can't handle that. Besides, I have to be able to get out there if I need to get out there. Sometimes it's nice to have these things that you can do. Donate time to something because it keeps you active for one. Keeps your mind active. Your mind is good. The rest of you is good. Most of the time. And if you are on some type of a medication that that can take you to the bank, so to speak, or to the feel-good land, that listen, if I got to do this, I can't take all that. So let me take minimal amount to feel okay. And so it kind of helps both. You're helping your community and you're helping yourself. I just have a strange way of looking at things, I guess. I don't know. Meanwhile, as I'm talking to you, I forgot what the hell I'm doing here. Oh, I'm looking for a longer table. Why don't I have a longer table? I don't have any up there. No, no, okay. I don't think I have any USB cables. Well, I may have. Down here. Let's go into the cable box. No, Cat 7s, Cat 7. Now they have Cat 8. Now I'd like to just say, let me grab some direct berry double shielded Cat 8 and put it in the ground. But if the system, my providers, are not giving it to me, then what's the sense of having a cable that's not going to do anything? Because it's got to come through the line to start with. That's my way of looking at it. I may be wrong. I am not by no means a computer guru. And apparently I don't have any cable either. I don't think it would be in this one. This is basically power stuff. Someday I gotta go through these. Oh, this reminds me. That reminds me. Or do I have one? Oh, that's a mouse. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Even if I had an extension that I don't have. I got a bunch of HDMIs. Nope. Okay. Put these back over here. Okay, so that's that. Alright. I was hoping I had a cable long enough because I'm down to one line on this battery and it's going to go kaput real quick. Now I do have extra batteries, but you know where they are? Yeah, they're in the house. That's a nice place for them. I don't even use the camera in the house, but that's where the batteries are. I do have a real long one here, but this is a 3. I think. Yeah, that's a 3, so that's not going to do it. The short one I have here is a one I'm going to need, but that's the short one. Now I bought new ones. Where the hell did I put all the new ones I bought? Because I thought, well, as you can see, I started cleaning up in here. So I'm getting to a point to where we're almost there. I said it before, I'm not going to repeat myself. You guys don't want to hear me repeat myself, so why repeat myself? But meanwhile, I bought new cables, the red ones and the blue ones. I just don't know where I put them all. I probably took a lot of them in the house when they should be over in that box. Nothing back there. Nothing. Oh, what are these? Here they are. Oh, these are short ones. Those are not going to help me. All right. I'm going to have to order a couple, I guess. Or maybe just for one. Oh, if I went to Staples, I'll pay more for one than I would for 6 if I bought them on the internet. As you can see, it started to snow. They did say, I don't know if this camera will show it or not, but it's snowing. Okay. It started about, well, it was kind of like a real light hail, like sleet hail type thing. Like you heard it, but you didn't see it or feel it, that type of thing. That started when I first come out here about 11:30. And then about a half an hour ago, maybe an hour, it started doing that. Oh, it's 3:10 already. 15:10 for those of you who deal with that time. All right. So let's see what's going on over here. I'll push you up. Battery's gonna go dead in a minute though. And I don't have a cable to reach over here. What, is this getting harder? Well, it's not sticking anymore. This will be hard tomorrow. Should be hard tomorrow anyway. All this should be hard tomorrow. But should be and is, or will be, two different things. Alright, there's not much for me to start right now because I actually have to hook up that radio in the house.